Welcome back, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. This is going to be a classic. I tried to make this video one time already. I don't know if it was too long, but my phone, it would not download it. And we're going to do it again. So this is 13 times that Micheal Jordan took it personal or got revenge or both. Okay, let me tell you what. I don't think nobody loved basketball as much as Micheal Jordan and wanted to be the greatest player ever like Micheal Jordan. Nobody. Okay. He never lost when he was supposed to in a series. As we all know, he never melted down in a series. He never backed down. This guy, if he was hurt, he was hurt. He didn't skip games like that. He put up the numbers that made him be the greatest of all time. So let's get into this. And to me, I think coming out of high school, he was going to show everybody that he was going to be one of the greatest college players of all time. When we look at the NCAA championship in 1982, he hit the game winner. Wow. So let's look at the college awards that Micheal Jordan won in the accolades. So National Player of the Year in 84, two-time Sporting News National Player of the Year, 83, 84, two-time consensus, first team All-American, 83, 84, ACC Player of the Year, 84, ACC Athlete of the Year, 84, two-time first team ACC, 83, 84. So you there's way more than that. Let's get into some more. ACC Rookie of the Year, 82, and two-time USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year. So we all know that had to make Micheal Jordan kind of salty that he did not get selected number one or number two in the draft. Not to mention he won 3 gold medals in college. I don't think any other player ever did that. Not even Kareem. So Sam Bowie was selected before him. And yes, he took it personal. And I think even the fact that Hakeem was selected before him, I think he took it personal. And when you look at Hakeem, Hakeem's a great player. Sam Bowie was a great player back then, but they did not have the same resume, accolades, and awards that Micheal Jordan had in college. But we all know it was a big man game. So he took this personal, and we heard about this scrimmage right here. They played NBA players 11 times. There was 11 games in the 84 summer, right? Of collegiate players versus NBA players. Isaiah Thomas, Michael Cooper, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Magic Johnson, just a whole slew of who is who. The big names that I didn't see that they played was Dr. J and I can't remember this guy's name. Kareem wasn't on those teams, but these are all collegiate players that really haven't proved nothing in the NBA, going to play adult players in the Olympics, and they had to play these NBA players 11 times in scrimmage games, and those college players smoked these NBA players 11-0. Okay, so and I'm talking about smoked them, and it was a sign of things to come. And these players like Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, all these players like that, they kind of knew this, that if this guy, Micheal Jordan, had any help, it was going to be a wrap. So, you know what they did? They brought home the gold medal in the 84 Summer Olympics, smoked those dudes. The world didn't catch up to our players back then, only to the Lebron era guys. We'll talk about a little bit about Jordan had to face these stacked teams once he came into the league. He went to the worst team in the league, or one of the worst ones. And he said, I'm going to show these people, right? He led his team in 4 statistical categories: points, steals, rebounds, and assists as a rookie, something that nobody had ever did, right? So he took it personal. And I think he got revenge his rookie year on the teams that did not pick him first, Portland and Houston. He took it personal. And he did something that no other player had ever did. 28 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, really 6 assists, 5.9, and 2.4 steals. For context, LeBron has never had 2 steals in a season. 2 steals, well, 2.5. Jordan had 2.5. LeBron has never averaged 2 steals in a season. And these 2.5 steals was nothing for Jordan in the years to come. That was nothing. So they already knew that this guy was going to be a menace. And I think he almost averaged a block or something close to it in his rookie season. So they knew this guy was going to be a menace to the whole league. They just never seen a guard that would be able to do the things that he did already. They were like, man, maybe they seen some defensive guards, or maybe they seen a great offensive guard, but they never seen a guy that was a two-way player like this that was on the perimeter. It kind of didn't exist, okay? You saw two-way players in the paint. You seen that a lot, but you did not see, like Kareem. You had Wilt. You had Moses Malone. You had all these type of different forwards like Bird. I wouldn't consider him a great two-way player, but you did not see that from only player I seen maybe Oscar Robertson, but I don't know, like, is he known really for playing defense? I would have to look that up. I mean, it just Jerry West, right? Jerry West. I'm not too sure he was really good with the blocks, but I know this guy was great as far as steals. So, I would consider that a two-way player to me. Since then, we've had other two-way players that were great on the perimeter, but back then you really didn't see that. So we already know in the 87 season, the next season, he broke his foot, 6 games into the season? Boom, he had to sit out. So he wanted to come back after the All-Star break, and they told him, no, just sit out the rest of the season, blah, blah, blah. He did make the All-Star team. That's why we say All-Star votes aren't really that. What do they count for? I mean, anybody can make the All-Star if you get the right amount of votes. That's how popular he was. Only in the first season. He only proved himself in the first season and got into the All-Star game. Of course, he didn't play. So he comes back with like 18 games to go. Finally, they let him because he kind of took it personal that they said he could, come back and play. He got him into the playoffs. We know that story. And we know this story. I think Jordan kind of took it personal. Hey, I'm going to the famous Boston Garden. I got to play 5 Hall of Fame dudes. This is how they going to hold me down. 5 Hall of Famers, right? Dennis Johnson, Bill Walton, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish. We know the guys, right? And only a 5-game series. Remember, an 8 couldn't play a number 1 in a 7-game back then. That's a waste of time, okay? They changed these rules for the LeBron era guys, right? So in game 1, he put up 19 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, 1 block on 44, right? % shooting. Wow, my boy almost had a triple-double off rip. Second game, 63 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks on 53% shooting. In the third game, what else could the man do? He put up 49 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block on 50% shooting. And he shot 100% from the 3 in that series, right? So this is how Micheal Jordan made his legend, not just by scoring 63 points, but he did it coming off a broken foot. That's impossible. You can't do this stuff. It's impossible. But he took the challenge personal, right? Where is LeBron taking this personal? I never seen one time in his career that he took something real personal and got revenge. Maybe like 1 time, maybe like 2 times. I'm not sure. But if you go build a super team in 2011, I don't call that getting revenge, right? You might have took it personal, but what are you going to do about it? We don't count that, right? Real basketball fans really don't count what he did. As far as championships, those really don't count to us. Those are like asterisk, because Jordan didn't run, Hakeem didn't run. All these guys didn't run. Barkley ran. He didn't ran to a super team, right? So he just ran the good players, and that's LeBron had good players too, year after year after year after year in Cleveland. So the next season, Michael Jordan in 80. Well, I guess this is. I think this is out of order. This is the 86-87 season numbers, right? Before he played Bird, right? No, hold on. 85, 6, 87, 88. No, this is the next season. So 86-87, he played 82 games, 37 points per game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.9 steals. I told you the steals was going to go up. 1.5 blocks, 48% from the field, 18% from 3, but he averaged less than a 3 a game, right? And he shot 85% from the line. So that season, he had 236 blocks. I mean, steals. That would be crazy. 236 steals, 125 blocks. That's unheard of for a guard, right? Unheard of. So he doesn't win nothing. He doesn't get a defensive team. He doesn't win MVP. Could you imagine in any era you could put up these type of numbers and don't get on a defensive team or win MVP? And you guys told me the 80s was weak. So he will play the Celtics again, right? In 87, right? And to me, the 86-87 season, I don't think it was personal, and I don't think he was getting revenge, but I do think that, he wanted to show people he could get better from his 84-85 season because he didn't really play in his second season. So I think he wanted to show people that. So he ended up facing these 5 Hall of Fame players again. One guy. First game, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 1 block on 30% shooting, 85% from the free throw line. He had a bad game as far as shooting. Everything else, it was brilliant, right? Second game, 42 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 0 steals, 4 blocks, 48% from the field, and 85% from the line. The third game, 35 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Let me see. He shot 48% from the field and shot, 100% from the line. And he shot 66% from the 3. No, he didn't. I don't have the overall numbers for the series from 3. But game 1, he was 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 3 from 3 in the second game, and 0 for 1 from 3. So I don't know what that would be. It won't be too bad, but it won't be great. He really didn't average that many threes. So I don't know if he was taking this game personal, but you got to take it kind of personal that he already seen before he came into the NBA, but that the only reason why these guys could beat him because he had no All-Star teammate, no Hall of Fame teammate, and he had to play 5 Hall of Famers, stacked team, and he already beat these guys in scrimmage games with help, right? So he wasn't going to beat them, especially in the best of 5. So take it personal. Now I'm going to average, 35 points per game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.5 steals, 1 block, stuff like that. I'm going to take it personal and hey, my name is going to look better than your name. I might get beat as one player playing all you guys, but I'm going to outscore you and I'm going to outplay you. And that's what he did. And so let's get into this. The Pippen season, that changed everything. 87, 88, he comes into this season and he takes it very personal because last season he put up 37, 2.9 steals, a block and a half a game, all these crazy stats, and didn't even get a defensive team or MVP. So the next season, 86-87, as Pippen rode the bench with splinters in his booty the whole season, Jordan played 82 games, 40 minutes per game, 35 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, that's really 6, 3.2 steals, 1.6 blocks, on 53% shooting, and he averaged less than a three a game, 13% from the 3-point line, and then you have 84% from the 3-point line. I mean, from the free throw line. Oh boy, we got all these lines. So we know what happened then. Why Scotty was averaging 7.9 points per game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 46% shooting. Nobody knew who this guy is or was. But today, the Lebron fans said that this guy came in as the greatest player of all time and saved Michael Jordan's career. But nobody even knew who Pippen was. Came out of Little Arkansas, didn't even make a rookie team, right? If I'm not mistaken, didn't even get Rookie of the Year and came in and saved Michael Jordan as Michael Jordan won the MVP, All-Star MVP, was first team NBA, first team defensive, scoring champ, steals champ, defensive player of the year. Just 2 seasons in a row now. 2 seasons in a row, 100 plus steals. 200 plus steals and 100 plus blocks. Never done before, and never has been done since. So, the greatest season of all time. Jordan took revenge, and he got payback, right? So let's fast forward it all the way until 1991, right? Jordan had to play the Pistons in '88, where Pippen pooped all over himself with his 7 points per game in that series. We go to '89. Jordan puts up great numbers again. Has to play the Pistons. Wow. Pippen poops in his pants again. We go to '90. Jordan puts up great numbers again. Pippen finally makes the All-Star team. Now we got the first All-Star teammate for Jordan. Guess what? Pippen poops in his pants again. We can do a whole series about how Pippen pooped in his pants in 3 playoff series straight, while Michael Jordan played from '88 to '90, 3 to 4 Hall of Fame players on one team, which was Detroit. Let me give it to you one more time. Dantley was there in '88. Dantley left. So from '88 to '90, Jordan played 3 to 4 Hall of Fame players on one team, while Pippen made the All-Star team one time. So Michael Jordan had to take it personal, right? If the Pistons won again in '91, which they were favorites to do a three-peat, that would have been a three-peat on Michael Jordan, a three-peat that hasn't been done since the Celtics in the '60s. Now, they wasn't beating him in the NBA Finals, three-peating, but still, I don't think Michael Jordan's legacy would have been the same if the Pistons would have beat him again going for a three-peat, right? They did. They kind of did three-peat on him because they beat him 3 times in a row, right? But if they would have won a third championship going through Michael Jordan, I don't think his legacy would have been the same. So Michael Jordan took that personal, kicked Scottie Pippen in the butt and the rest of his teammates, because at that point in 1990, they was beating the Bulls playing football. They wasn't beating them on fundamentals and stuff like that, and they definitely wasn't more athletic than the Bulls. So Jordan knew we just got to get to the fundamentals about this thing, and we win. And that's what they did. They came out there and won based on fundamentals. They put the athleticism to them, and they was done. They swept them. Okay? And like I said, that would have changed Jordan's legacy. If those Pistons would have won 3 in a row, we know what happened. So, Jordan going through all this and finally getting to the mountaintop, he wanted to separate himself. And that's what he's always did since he came into the NBA to be the greatest player of all time. You have to separate yourself and do stuff that great players have never done. Right? When we say, oh, Bird did this, Magic did this, he's the greatest player for this. Michael Jordan always separated himself from other players to be the greatest of all time. So we already know Jordan was going to do this three-peat, right? He did this three-peat with no great big man. Never been done ever, right? Haven't seen the three-peat since the 60 Celtics. So Jordan came in that first series with the Lakers. The Lakers were the favorite, as far as I know. Jordan puts up 31 points per game, 6 rebounds, 11 assists, 2.8 steals, 1.4 blocks, 55% from the field, and 50% from three-point land. And if Jordan would have played more minutes in the 4-1 blowout against the Lakers, I think he would have averaged more assists than Magic Johnson, right? 2, Portland Trailblazers, 35 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.7 steals on 52% shooting. What is this? 42.9 from the three. You can't shoot the three, Jordan. And Clyde Drexler is on your level. He had to show him differently, right? Drexler is not on my level. He's a great player, but not on my level. And we're going to dispel the myth that I cannot shoot the three, right? So Jordan took it personal once he saw that, what's his name? Charles Barkley won the MVP. Michael Jordan took that personal, right? So he went out and put up 41 points. I don't think they were. I would have to go back and look. I don't think they was favorites in this game. I don't see how neither. That Phoenix team was loaded from top to bottom at the time. 41 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.7 steals, 50% from the field, 40% from the three. So Jordan was his first three finals. He was just, something was wrong with that dude. He took it personal. Getting beat all those years and putting up all those great numbers. He was going to separate himself once he got to the finals. Remember? That's what separates Jordan. He had all these iconic moments in the finals. He had all these great moments, right? All these great moments. So we all know Michael Jordan retired after that year in 93 because his father was murdered. He said he didn't want to play another game without his father in the stands. So he went to go play baseball. He came back with like 18 games to go in 95, right? Made the playoffs against a Bulls team. I don't know if they were going to make the playoffs. So they was a low seed. I think, number 4, number 5, and they had to play Orlando, right? Just had a better team than the Bulls. Better shooters, better inside players. And I thought Pippen was able to carry all these teams, right? When faced with adversity, as the media and the world counts you out, how do you respond? 1995, Jordan gets ripped, loses the game, and the media says that Michael Jordan is past his prime and doesn't have the same abilities. Imagine you telling that to Michael Jordan. Wow. The next season, 96, the next season sets the NBA record, 72-10, wins the MVP, Finals MVP, All-Star MVP, first team defensive, scoring title in the NBA championship. Wow. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. My boy is separating himself from all these other dudes. And when they said Michael Jordan was not the same guy, he really wasn't. But he had taking all that time off and stuff like that, you lose athleticism. You're coming back to play with the greatest basketball athletes in the world. And we try to tell that to LeBron fans, but they don't listen. They think this stuff is a vacation and you feel better. And you're going to just, maybe in LeBron's era, you could do that. You couldn't do that in Jordan's era. It's impossible, right? It's impossible to start your body back up and pretty much do the stuff that he was doing on top of that and be a top player. It's not possible, right? So he had to take that personal, what he was going to do with his body. He knew he could never be the Air Jordan he was, so he worked on his shooting game, right? And from 96 to 97 became, I think, the greatest mid-range shooter of all time. I was there. I watched every Michael Jordan game from 87 until he retired, right? And I always tell people 86, 87, no, my fault, 96, 97, 98 Jordan is what you want to watch. This guy, I've never seen nothing like it in my life. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, you can put these guys to rest. These crazy shots that this guy was hitting, long fadeaways, long pump fakes, up and under, it's like, wow, it's not possible. DeMar DeRozan, go sit down. Go watch Jordan's highlights of his 96 season, 97, 98. I've never seen. That's the best Jordan I like, because you're not supposed to be hitting these shots. And this guy was hit. It was just like funny. Like, how is this guy hitting these shots again and again and again and again and again? And I think he became the greatest shooter of all time. Right? While you got guys dumped on you, hand checking you, elbows in the back, all this stuff. He's doing this. These long shots in front, inside the arc. He's doing this. Willing and you ain't supposed to just go watch these videos. Greatest shooter of all time to me. Okay. And like I said, he took it personal. We go to the 97 finals. Byron Russell talking mess about Jordan. He said, okay, we'll see. We will see. Hit that buzzer beater on him. Came back, flu game. Byron got up in the flu game. Wow. That's why you don't really see this guy on TV no more. I don't never see him in no interviews. I'm talking about, man, he messed this guy up. We go to the 98 finals. We know what happened then. He tore Byron Russell up then, hit the game winner. And that was that. Michael Jordan got revenge all of his career. Just about. You know, a lot of people talk about these other revenge games. We're talking about like revenge seasons and series. And, you know, when George Karl talked mess about him, who was it? Van Gundy said he was a con man. I remember this stuff right here. This is the greatness to me when we talk about Michael Jordan. He was getting revenge in a whole season when he didn't get MVP. And also, what was it, 97? He got revenge too on Karl Malone because he thought he should have won the MVP then. Sure, you can't win MVP every year, but he doesn't care. He said, I carry Scottie Pippen, right? When he was out, I carried Scottie Pippen to all these victories in the team. I should have won the MVP. So that's Michael Jordan. He took it. Look, nobody loved basketball as much as this guy. I was there to see it. If you wasn't there, I don't know what to say. This guy took it personal. And he was going to get revenge because he thought he was the greatest basketball player of all time. Better than Wilt, better than Russell, because he was doing most of his stuff as a guard and on the perimeter and doing crazy moves just to score. Played all 82 games, was, you know, playing hard-nosed defense. Right? So, I mean, I don't know if this is revenge, but a lot of people were saying, no way a 38, 39-year-old can take 3 years off and come back and do what he wants to do. I think Michael Jordan took it personal. Still to this day, the only player to have four 40-point games in a 50-point game at 38, 39 years old. And I think he only played 62 games that year because he blew out his knee, came back the next year, played 82 games, right? And he had 3 40-point games, 0 50-point games. So let's compare that to LeBron this year, right? 38, 39, the same age as Jordan when he came back. LeBron has 1 40-point game and 0 50-point games, right? Jordan had 40. And they was all like in the, you know, I think like December, January, Feb. It was like real fast. And he had a 50-point game in that time span. And he wasn't breaking it up. He had high field goal percentages in those games. Not only that, he had, you know, 6, 7 rebounds, you know, like 6 assists, you know, steals, all that stuff. So he wasn't just sitting around shooting the ball. And all his shots were majority mid-range. So, look, LeBron will never be in the shoes of Michael Jordan. And that's why he called Jordan Black Jesus, called him all this stuff, because he knew Michael Jordan did not play. And you don't run your mouth to Michael Jordan either, because he going to have you looking like a fool. For a fool. And that's what he had people looking like, not only for a season, teams, players, and the media. You don't talk mess about this guy, because he will come out with the work ethic in the gym, and then it will show up on the court. Right? And that's why a lot of his teammates didn't like him, because that's what he did. Tell me what you think.